Let's get on to our counsellor's couch now. Although we're all sitting on different couches, I'm joined by child and adolescent psychologist Claire Rowe and psychiatrist Dr Tanveer Ahmed. Thanks both for joining me. I want to get straight to a topic we've discussed before, and that is this revelation that 12%, a full 12% of boys aged between 5 and 7 in this country are on the NDIS. 12%, more than 1 in 10, and it's 5% for girls. Why is this happening, Tanveer?
Autism has become this broad label that now sucks up all manner of social and behavioural problems, and there's a huge financial incentive to do so. And as a result, we basically turbocharged a sort of neurodiversity movement, and there's huge incentives to have these labels. Now, the government wants to claw this back. It will not be easy. It will not be easy now. There's such a strong cohort of people, there's such a strong interest group around this now. While they're making noises that they're going to claw it back, I'll be very interested to see how they do that.
Yeah, it's such a difficult issue, this one, because you want kids to get the best help they can, but 12% seems off the charts. Claire, tell us about why it's half that or less than half that for girls.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're saying that 12% of young boys are disabled in this country. I mean, clearly everyone knows that's not the case. And, you know, there's a number of factors here. And like Tanveer said, the labels of autism now encompass a whole range of social difficulties and behavioural difficulties. And I suppose boys traditionally are the more outward disruptive 5 to 7-year-olds in the classroom, perhaps, and get picked up earlier. They're the squeaky wheel. And perhaps they get under using an autism diagnosis to try and get that extra help. As he said, there's financial incentives. There are things like extra teachers' age, extra one-on-one support in the classroom for these kids. So, you know, there's incentives to teachers also to pick up and direct kids to get an assessment. And I think, you know, I supervise young psychologists, early career psychologists, and they feel under enormous pressure that someone has paid $2,000 for an assessment, and they feel under pressure that they've paid that money for a diagnosis, whilst I keep saying, no, they've paid that for your opinion. And if your opinion is that they do not meet criteria for autism, that's what you should be saying. But of course, you know, early career psychologists feel in immense pressure to diagnose.
Yeah, what a problem, and the government's got to somehow try and fix it. Now, we've talked a fair bit about the effect of political issues on the downside, I suppose, of political issues on kids and getting them too involved in political controversies, especially through protests and school strikes. Tomorrow is the so-called school strike for Palestine. We've talked about that before too, but have a look at what Chris Minns, the New South Wales Premier, had to say about this. I thought it was quite interesting.
If you want to change the world, get an education. I mean, this is precisely why we have a world-class public education system. We want young kids to be fully educated, to be knowledgeable about the world, to form their own views when they graduate from school, and to make school the enemy by striking against it, I think sends the wrong message.
It's a great point, isn't it, Tanveer? Sure, you've got to get educated to change the world, but by having a strike, you're actually making school the enemy of the protest.
Yeah, we've just set a precedent around the climate strikes where you've just got groups saying, oh, this is like, if we care about an issue enough and we think there's a religious zeal around an issue, oh yeah, it supersedes school. Yeah, I think it's absolutely terrible, and it's kids being exploited by their elders. And it's interesting Minns is taking such a strong position, and he came out against the protesters at Port Botany too, the pro-Palestine ones, and he may well upset some figures in his party. This is where there's a real tension on the left, and there's a lot of Labor MPs with big sort of Muslim communities who will have sort of strong issues probably against what Minns is saying. So I think it's very courageous of him.
Now, I've got to talk to you, both of you, about this survey that tells us what Gen Z people see as their dream job. Now, Gen Z is basically teenagers and the like now and below. Gen Z, Gen Y, all this stuff. But now, I don't want to insult the career choice that you've both made, but I'm shocked that the #1 job, at 17% preferring it, is to be a mental health therapist. What does this tell us about the young'uns, Claire?
Should I be worried? They're coming after me? I don't know. But look,
they're all coming for it, yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Chris. And I actually read this and I thought, you know what, given the kind of dilution and I think the flimsy nature of wellness and mental health, I think there's this rise of the life coach online and they're putting out their Instagram, social media to, I don't know, go for a run and light a candle, and they're spruiking their online courses left, right and centre. And I think it's a fairly trendy kind of career choice for young people to make. They go, great, I can do this online, I can put out mental health courses and I can be this kind of influencer. And it all looks a bit glamorous, I think, and I don't think that they really know reality when they get, you know, a clinically depressed person in front of them what to do. But I think it looks quite glamorous and a bit flimsy, so I'm a bit of a sceptic about all that.